And welcome to the post-game Coach's Corner. I'm the Coach Dick Cox, joined by Coach Barry Toney. Well, Coach T, we came to Columbia today expecting to see a showdown with the two teams tied for first place in the SEC, and we ended up seeing a shootout. That South Carolina just completely shot Tennessee out of the gym
in
today,
all phases of the game, Coach. All phases.
And pretty much this game was over right after halftime. South Carolina made a run, went up by about 15, 17 points at the half, and then came out and literally blew the doors out, outscoring Tennessee 24-9. And it was pretty much a mystery then on whether they were going to hang 100 on them or not.
Coach, you can kind of look at toward the end of the first quarter. You know, Gamecocks had a 7-point lead. What was taking place toward that quarter, you could see that game slipping out of Tennessee's hands. You really could.
Tennessee is a team that lives and dies by the three. Today, they attempted for the game, they put up 44 threes, made 10 of them for a sizzling 22.7%. And then on the other hand right there, they only took 20 shots inside the arc and made 8 of those. So free throws, what, they shot 3 out of 4?
Yeah, 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
And Gamecocks was 16 out of 20.
But the big story of the game today was South Carolina, and I have been preaching. People that played against me know how much I love the zone defense. South Carolina came out in a 2-3 matchup zone and just completely destroyed Tennessee's offense. They couldn't do anything but throw up wild threes with the Carolina length, with the 6'6", or at times a 6'6" and a 6'7" inside, with those long arms extended. But I thought South Carolina looked really good in that matchup zone.
Hey, they did, Coach. And I was impressed by the Gamecocks. Like you said, Tennessee, they were not hitting the outside shots from, inside, for the 2 or the 3. And then another thing, too, I noticed quite frequently, when they would drive the ball to the basket, a lot of them, they wasn't even looking to shoot inside because of those tall arms and just kicking it back out.
So South Carolina today was very limited, only 8 players in uniform, but they used pretty much every bit of the ability of the ones they had. Only 1 player did not score, but all of the starting 5 scored for South Carolina in double figures, plus 2 off the bench had 8 and 7. Again, it was just a all-around
scoring, total team victory.
Team victory for them today, though. But, and I had a chance to ask Dawn this question, too. It's going to be a nightmare trying to prepare for this South Carolina team, because we've now seen them play a 1-3-1 matchup that looked pretty good with their length. We saw them play today the 2-3 matchup, and we saw them today force Tennessee, not really pressuring hard of it, but had a 2-2-1 full court or 3/4 court pressure that forced them into some unforced turnovers, throwing it away up the sidelines.
Throwing it away, and also, traveling violations too. Hey, great job by the Gamecocks.
So you've got to worry about that along with their man-to-man. And I think it's made them a much better team going into this February stretch month of the regular season.
Okay, yeah, because now, Coach, is the time you want to be getting ready, because before you know it, it's going to be tourney time.
It will be. It's just around the corner here. Just in a couple of weeks, we'll be in Greenville, South Carolina, for the tournament up there. South Carolina today was led in scoring by Joyce Edwards. By Latson came back off the injury wearing a brace. She had 21 points today. Joyce Edwards had 20, 14 points for Tessa Johnson, 13 points for Raven Johnson, and 10 points for Medina Akot. Big girl Frenchie, as I call her. Big Alicia had 8 points, and then McDowell, the other freshman coming off the bench today, had 7. But that was a good little 7-man. And then Dowda got in the game. Miriam Dowda got in the game later. But that 7-man rotation she was going through there for a long time to the last 4 minutes. They looked pretty good playing together.
They did. Total team effort in all phases of the game.
They were missing McDaniel out with an injury tonight, and I'm not sure where another one of their big 6'5" players was today, though. But they now will have about a full week before the big showdown.
Big game with LSU and the PMAC.
On the Valentine's Day game.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be maybe the Valentine's Day massacre.
It should be some kind of game.
But I'm sure the Gamecocks have had this one circled as they will go against their former player that is now took the money and ran to LSU, that she's down there. And it's funny, she took the money and ran to LSU and has got the exact same role, maybe even playing less, coming off the bench. He doesn't even start for LSU. So that was really kind of a dumb thing to do.
She does that move when she gets in around that basket.
But don't you know that the people up here have seen those moves for about 10 years, recruiting her and everything there.
Sometimes those moves, too, are kind of it's easier against a man, but against the zone, sometimes it's hard to do that against the zone.
So that will be interesting. That game right there could go a long way towards deciding, I think, the SEC championship. That right now, Tennessee, dropped back to 2 losses.
Yeah.
You've got Texas with 2 losses. You've got LSU with 2 losses. But South Carolina's got the head-to-head over both Tennessee and Texas right now, though. So if they could get that game next Saturday against LSU, she would be sitting in the driver's seat. It would be a big one, though. So the Gamecocks in front of a big crowd today that we had officially 16,206 on Super Bowl Sunday.
That's great.
Came out, played well. Dawn had on her Eman Worry jersey. That is Raven Johnson's boyfriend, supporting him today, though. But just a super effort today for the Gamecocks. Good to see Latson back in the lineup after she'd missed a couple of games. I'll be tuned in next Saturday night on Valentine's, or at least if I can't, I'll have it taped. But I want to see that one next week.
Because you'll probably be out somewhere on Valentine's Eve.
I better be. I hope so. I better be. So reporting for Lindy Sports and Cox Sports Broadcasting, he's Coach Toney. I'm Coach Cox. Your final score today from the Colonial Life Center: South Carolina Gamecocks 93, Tennessee Volunteers 50. Have a good week, everybody, and happy Valentine's.
Have a good one. Happy Valentine's.
And she knew she's gonna have to make plays for us and just be out there. She's the calm, amongst the storm that could happen during the game.
In the back to Noah.
Dawn, every team says they have a next man up mentality, but you guys really embody that this season. What has been said or done maybe behind the scenes that's allowed your team to keep plugging and playing whoever's available?
Well, we don't speak about the injured. We don't speak about them. We don't, if this happens or if she could play or that player could play, we actually, quite frankly, we consider them dead. We do. It's not part of the game plan. They're unhealthy. So we just go with who is available. And that's the mentality that we need to have, because we don't need to, sulk on who's not here and what could happen. We just, whoever's available, it is the next woman up, and that's the way we practice. If we got 8, if we got 9, that's the way we practice. It may be shorter practices, but that's the way we handle it.
Matt? And then Chris.
You guys now control your own destiny in the SEC, sitting alone at the top of the conference. Tonight was saying now the target's going to be even bigger on your back going forward. How much does the focus and intensity go up even more now, knowing that you do control your own destiny?
It's the same role for us. It's the same exact role where we've been the top team in this league and taken on everybody's best. I'm hoping it works adversely, for our opponents. They play so hard that it gets them out of whack. And I hope we just stay calm with just dealing with the wave of pressure that comes with this normal pressure. It's the normal pressure of being at the top of our conference, being a team that's won a national championship. We give people's best. So I hope at some point it backfires on them.
Chris, and then Jalen.
going back to the zone defense, is it just matchups that make it so successful, or is there something about the players on the team this year that makes them good zone defenders?
I want to say that they get excited to play the zone because they have to chase everybody around, right? And I think the more success we have with it, the more they are wanting to play it. I mean, I hope we don't get too comfortable with it, because we're at some point we're gonna have to match up and play some of the type of defense that we're used to playing, because they're gonna scout us and they're gonna find holes in it. But I think if we can use it properly, where we spot it here or there, or if it's going well and some offenses have some difficulty in moving the ball and getting the things that they want. Our main focus for Tennessee was to control the paint. Like, we know they're gonna shoot 30 plus threes, 44 today, right? We just didn't want them to have both paint points and made threes.
Jalen?
Throughout the game, the fans kind of made it hard for Tennessee to kind of get their offense going. How impactful is that to have such an advantage like that at a home type environment? I mean, it's taken some time for us to get used to just having that kind of like ovation all the time. Like, and I do think it impacts our opponents, and it's really comforting. It's become like a comfort for us to know, like, they know exactly when to pick things up and when to be their loudest, and they know when we're shooting free throws to be their quietest. And it's super cool to just kind of see that rhythm of our fans throughout the game.
Jared?
Hey, Coach. Kim Caldwell was in here earlier. She said she felt like her team had a lot of quit in them today, and obviously after a 43-point loss, it's kind of rough there. But with her just being a young coach in her career and her time with Tennessee, are there times where you felt like
to buy in, and sometimes it's tricking them, because it's a game. It's a game that you really have to balance and play with the players, because they know they played like ish, right? They know they did. Sometimes you need to bring what good happened. If you can find some good in it, hey, if we did more of this, some of that might just kind of relax them a little bit, because competitors know when they don't play well. Competitors know when they need to change their mindsets, and you need the majority. You need the majority of your team thinking the same way, and it has to be positive. If it's negative, you're going to get negative results. So I would start from there.
Dick?
You've now played successfully matchup zone, several games, several different types this year, and you mixed in the 2-2-1 today. Do you feel like you've added some new weapons into your arsenal now, and that you now have made the other coaches lose a lot of sleep at night because they don't know what to prepare for with you now?
Well, I mean, I think they'll have to prepare for it all. Like, they have to prepare for our man defense. They have to prepare for our zone now, and our three-quarter court stuff. I think with just probably our injuries have made us think a little bit more about how we steal some moments of, like I thought we went to the zone earlier because Raven picked up an early one, Joyce picked up an early one, and we really didn't want them to pick up their second, so we probably stayed in a little bit longer than we normally would have, and it was working. So yes, I mean, obviously if it's going to work, we're going to continue to work on it and keep teams off balance.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, everyone. Sorry.
You can't do that in big games. You can't do that anytime in the SEC, but you certainly can't do that at a program like this.
Take questions. Cora, then Ryan.
Kim, just after a loss like this, what was your message, and what do you even kind of say after
Win your next
that?
game. Win your next game. It's embarrassing. We're embarrassed. Win your next game.
Kim, just why do you think when things are going bad for this team, they're going as bad as they have and the margin of defeat has been as much as it has been?
Yeah, that's a question for them about why they can't stick together.
Go to Casey in the back.
Coach, what were some of those halftime adjustments that you wanted the team to make in the second half?
Yeah, we wanted to run some offense. They went into a zone, and we looked a little bit scared versus zone. We didn't run anything. We didn't put pressure on the rim. We wouldn't even get the ball inside the paint. So we talked about running some sets that would get us inside the paint, and so we could play inside out or we could go high-low, and we didn't do that.
Can you talk about facing South Carolina's zone? They got a lot of length and can cover a lot of ground with it.
Yeah, they did a really good job of covering up the rim for us. I think we were doing a decent job at the beginning when they were in man of playing inside out. We were able to attack it and get to the rim, and then when we just had to stand out there and launch threes, it got ugly pretty quick, and we didn't have the discipline to just run any offense.
Just how concerning is it about not being able to deal with the 2-3 zone, especially when you're going through sets, you want them to run, trying to break it, but end up shooting what you guys did from 3?
Yeah, I think that it hit a point where we were just launching them. It hit a point where it was just everyone was just going to shoot it, and that's not offense. That's not pretty. It's why the score looked the way that it looked. Historically, we've been pretty good against the zone. That was another thing we talked about at halftime. We've seen zone where our zone execution up to this point has been good. It's been efficient. I think one thing that they do is they cover up so much ground, they limit you getting those offensive rebounds against it. So if you miss your first shot, they're going the other way.
Caleb and then Ryan.
You mentioned this team having a lot of quit today. When you're in February, how do you fix a team that has quit?
They have to fix it. They have to decide they want to fix it.
I guess on a similar note, when you're sitting there in the third and fourth quarter and things are starting to snowball and you're in the huddles, what's the reaction from the team in those moments? Do you feel like they're kind of mentally where they need to be, or are they just kind of sitting there defeated?
No, I don't necessarily know that they're sitting there defeated. I don't know that. I do know we don't have the leadership we need player-wise. And we've talked about for a couple weeks, it can come from anyone, anywhere, but we do need somebody that is respected and does things the right way to step up and lead this team from a player standpoint.
Okay, that was going to be my question.